Wishing all of you a happy Monday. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Myself, well, spring break's around the corner, so I gotta make sure my endurance levels are up. But we're gonna talk about something that's a little bit funny and a little bit serious, all at the same time. So look no further, because we gotta talk about Ted Cruz being a confirmed bush camper. So if you know what I'm talking about, definitely let me know. But if you're not someone who plays video games, you're probably like, why was Ted Cruz hanging around in a bush? So what he decided to do was take a trip to the southern border, and he was with Border Patrol agents, and he was trying to showcase how you have a lot of illegal activity going on crossing the border. So you have a lot of cartel agents. This is according to Ted Cruz. You have cartels that are in boats, and they're bringing people over, over the southern border. So you have human trafficking going on, and then you have drug trafficking as well. So he's trying to highlight the situation. It just comes off as kind of goofy. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I don't like illegal immigration, but just like his whole presentation, to me, it made me chuckle a little bit. It made me think of, people hiding around in bushes in video games. But moving on, what we actually got to talk about, because I'm going to put this down because I'm a little tipsy already. But what we're actually going to talk about is really the whole situation around illegal immigration. So you may have heard, maybe approaching a week ago or so, Project Veritas, they actually got pictures within these certain facilities in Texas, and they were just showing how overcrowded they are, all these illegal immigrants. So of course, media doesn't want to report on it, so that means it's not true, right? So if you've been following the whole border situation, you know that when a Republican's a president, that equals border crisis, that equals kids in cages. When a Democrat's in office, don't report on it, because that means it's not happening, right? And that's kind of the formula to how they create these positive news cycles regarding President Biden and his whole administration. But anyway, I kind of went into the other video, I think it was on Friday, where I just briefly mentioned, when you have a president, a sitting president, can't get the words out right now. When you have a sitting president, plus a whole administration, a whole real Democratic Party that is openly pro-illegal immigration. And even if they're not pro-illegal immigration, they're definitely not anti-illegal immigration. And when they're talking about things like, hey, we should provide free healthcare and free education, and if people get caught on our side, we can't send them back, you're going to kind of encourage this behavior to happen. So with Ted Cruz going on, or going down to the southern border, he's really just trying to showcase, there's a whole situation that's been going on for years. It's not like it stopped under President Trump. I understand you can argue it was maybe mitigated to some degree, but it was still going on. So you still have these gaps within the border wall. It's whether you can argue that Border Patrol is underfunded, or we just have so many ways to get into our country. But really the whole situation, he's trying to bring awareness to it, and a lot of people are brushing it off. I understand I made a little bit of a joke of it, but a lot of the people on the left are trying to say the only thing you have to fear at the southern border is unaccompanied children and people just seeking a better life. So I don't know if they are fully aware of who kind of participates at the southern border, meaning the cartels. So they either don't fully know that, or they purposely, leave that out. They omit that fact, and that's how you're able to persuade people, oh, it's just, children and people seeking a better life. But what I just want to mention for today is, there used to be a guy, and this guy, a lot of people didn't like his tweets, a lot of people didn't like his behavior, but there was one particular idea that I think more and more people are going to warm up to in the coming months, maybe even the coming years, and that is the border wall. Very controversial at first, even within people, even people that were within the Republican Party. They were saying things like, well, it was a really big government project, so maybe we shouldn't spend money on it. A lot of people were obviously touting, oh, it's racist, it's this, it's that. But you really can't deny that there's a lot of people who just willfully cross our border because there's nothing blocking them. There's nothing stopping them from doing so. We only have so many Border Patrol agents. We only have so many miles of wall. So, when you have these big openings, and hey, you got to admit, people are still trying to come to this country. You can argue that this place sucks, but when we're the number one country for people trying to immigrate to, I think that kind of speaks otherwise. But with this border wall, the reason why I have the picture up is if we actually were to get behind it and we were to convince people from the other side that it is necessary, I think what you would have is, let's say we complete it, it would be able to mitigate the amount of people that are coming in just from crossing our border illegally. Now, what would that do? So you have people trying to get into our country legally. We have people also trying to seek asylum. And then you're also going to have people that are, within the system already, right? People that crossed illegally, they're in the detention facilities. We're trying to sort it out, maybe see if they have some sort of background, this and that. If we were to complete this wall, what it would do is it would stop the amount of people crossing in this certain way, right? Crossing the border illegally where the gaps are. This would give Border Patrol or ICE agents time to actually kind of filter out the system. So right now they're getting slammed with the amount of people coming in. So again, if we slow this to kind of like a manageable drip, kind of gives them a chance to catch up on their work. And then after that point, maybe we'll be able to speed up the process of people trying to enter our country legally, right? It's so backed up right now and so many hands are tied behind people's backs. It's hard for us to address really anything, and that's why I think you're seeing this sudden rush to the border. One, because the administration that's in power right now, but two, because everything is just so backed up and it's like nothing gets done, right? Like picture, like when a shoe or like there's so many knots and it's like I don't even know where to start. So that's kind of what you're seeing at the border here, at least in my opinion. So I'm actually someone who thinks we should really discuss whether there should be more funding for a border wall, whether you want to take it out of a certain program. Definitely open to hearing ideas around it. I think that would at least give Border Patrol a chance to catch up on their work, maybe try and clean up the system that we have in place, and maybe then things will become a little more efficient. And you got to think about other things too. Human trafficking as well as drug trafficking, we could at least try and put a little bit of a stop to it from anything coming from the southern border. I understand there's other areas they come from as well, but I think us at least attempting would kind of show good faith, and who knows, it might actually slow it up to a manageable drip, so to speak. So that's really all I got. I just thought it was a funny / serious video. So comment down below. Let me know if you think Ted Cruz looked a little goofy doing it. Let me know if you think we should only treat it serious. But obviously it is a serious situation, so you know what's going on with it. But listen, like I said, spring break is around the corner for myself. If you're a college student or anyone else, hey, I hope you're able to enjoy a little bit of a spring break. Should have some nice weather coming up. If you're of age, enjoy some adult beverages. Oh man, oof, man, this is only a Sunday night. Just wait till you see me Friday night. But listen, I appreciate you checking out the video, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.